This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Singapore. I'm going to give you guys my most confident picks. We'll talk my favorite underdogs, the lock of the week, prop/value bets, and then finish it out with the parlays. So make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure to share the video as well. Excited for this card. It's going to be at 5 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be live for the whole thing. Real early start, but I'm feeling pretty pumped. And I'm riding high off of UFC 292, where I sweep the most confident pick section, hit the lock of the week, and called the Sean O'Malley knockout. So my confidence is pretty sky high right now, heading into a fun card this weekend. So without further ado, let's get into the most confident picks per usual. I'm going to put them up on the screen, and I'll read through each one, and then we'll, get into a more detailed breakdown for them. So, Max Holloway, obviously, the line is bad. It's the most confident pick section. There's going to be some wide favorites. It's straight confidence regardless of the lines. Rinya Nakamura, another bad line, confident call. But then we got Junior Tafa, which is a very fun line, and I like this matchup a lot, and I'm looking forward to talking more about this one. And I also think Rolando Bedoya over Kenan Song, a little bit of an inflated line, though. So let's first go Max Holloway and then work our way down the list. So Max Holloway to win over Chan Sung Jung, Korean Zombie, is minus 800. It is a horrible line. Horrible line. And there's not a lot of money to necessarily be made here with a money line bet, unless maybe you're throwing $100,000 at it, which I wouldn't advise anybody to do. And I'm looking at minus 800. Even in a parlay, it's bad. You got to really have it as that long shot parlay extension, but it's still a high confidence call. Then you ask yourself, how does Max Holloway get it done? Well, the over 2.5 is minus 245. I feel as though Holloway is more volume punching style. No matter how many significant shots he can get off, he's not known to drop guys with big shots. A quick knockout against Korean Zombie seems less than likely here, especially Zombie being notoriously very durable. So over 2.5 is minus 245. I think that's pretty likely here. Now, you ask yourself, how's Holloway getting it done? Well, knockout is minus 150, so it would potentially be a volume KO. But I feel like Zombie could potentially survive the 5 and even have a couple moments. Granted, a couple. I really will emphasize that, a couple line, because I really think it's going to be pretty much Max Holloway traffic the entire time. But decision is plus 165. So let's say maybe Holloway can't sting him with the perfect shot to put him down. Zombie's looking extremely durable. He gets touched up with the kickboxing throughout the whole fight and loses all 5 rounds. You do get plus money on Holloway by a decision. The knockout, you're not getting that. You're getting minus 150. I've been calling Holloway, I think, on the cards, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't mention I talked about 4th and 5th round knockout as also possibilities. The longer this fight goes, there's definitely a possibility that the cuts that Zombie might potentially, develop over the course of this fight and the damage to the head with so many shots being landed could even cause for a standing TKO like the Volkanovski fight. Holloway is what? Plus 575 to win in round 4. Plus 650 to win in round 5. Also plus 525 to win in round 3. 3, 4, and 5 are interesting calls because I could see a later knockout. I like 4th or 5th. Kind of feeling potentially 4th if you're looking to just absolutely snipe the line at like plus 575. But I do think that decision is going to end up happening. I know I'm kind of giving you guys a mixed bag. I'm talking about you could potentially sprinkle these props, but I'm also calling the decision prop. If Holloway is to get a knockout, I think later rounds, and I feel like he's probably going to win on the judges' scorecards, 5 rounds to 0, maybe 4 rounds to 1, but I'm thinking 5-0. Max Holloway, confident pick, but an 8-1 money line is not going to be what anybody is planning on hitting heavy as far as, to make some big revenue back, unless you're an absolute freak and throwing $100,000 on it. Now, looking at the next one, Rinya Nakamura, it's also a minus 800 line, which is terrible because Nakamura only has 1 UFC fight, and Fernie Garcia is pretty durable. I still think he should run him over. I think he's the more powerful striker, clearly, and he's the better wrestler of the 2 guys, and I think he could hurt Fernie Garcia. Note that Garcia has never been stopped as a pro, but the under 2.5 is at minus 290. It's because Nakamura is like that much of an absolute menace when he goes out there. He's a scary fighter that looks for the kill. I think he's live for submission or knockout. It's plus 275 for sub, but half of me feels like he's just going to beat up Fernie from top, and especially if he lands a strike on the feet. Knockout minus 135. Listen, it's better than the other line of minus 800. Nakamura by decisions plus 400, but I doubt Fernie survive in the onslaught. I've said I think that Nakamura is going to be the first guy to knock Fernie Garcia out. You look at even his fight with Journey Newsom, he was getting ripped by shots on the feet a bit, and I think if Nakamura finds your chin like that, you don't get up. So Nakamura knockout, it's minus 135, official call. I'm confident that he wins. It's just, 8-1 favorite, another disgustingly wide favorite. But now we're going to get to a prettier line. Minus 140, Junior Tafa over Parker Porter. Plus 120 for Parker Porter. Junior Tafa should be able to knock him out on the feet. And I'm digging back to the Muhammad Usman fight. It's not like Tafa was just grabbed and immediately fell to his back. It really was hard for Usman to get him down, and Tafa landed big strikes on the feet. He's a dangerous kickboxer. He's a pro kickboxer. Transitioning to MMA, Justin Tafa, his brother, has an early first-round knockout win over Parker Porter, and they say that Junior Tafa is the better striker of the two. Granted, he's the slimmer guy. He doesn't have as thick of a frame. He's taller as well. I think Tafa, though, can find the kill shot on Parker Porter. I don't see necessarily great athleticism from Parker Porter, and if he gets on top, sure, he can lock in that top position, but I think Tafa's going to find the chin. The reason Tafa maybe isn't in lock of the week territory for me, even though I feel pretty damn good about it and the line is quite playable at minus 140. Simple. If he's on his back, he doesn't offer a ton of resistance. He kind of just gets stuck on the floor. So if Parker Porter potentially was able to get the takedowns flowing, I could see Tafa kind of getting the car parked on top of him and him locked on the bottom. That's not what I see, though. I see Tafa with a first-round knockout. I like moneyline, minus 140 a lot. Looking at under 1.5 is minus 110. I think if Tafa's to win, it's probably under, but I'd rather just Tafa it. Tafa KO minus 120, just money line. Tafa in the first round plus 150. Tafa by KO in round 1 is plus 175. The books are predicting it, man. They got those lines sitting at pretty mid prices, but it's probably Tafa counter strike knockout in the first 3 minutes. That's what I'm riding with. I'm going Tafa by KO. Yes, there's some interesting plus money with the prop betting, the round prop betting rather, but I think moneyline Tafa is the best juice for your squeeze because it's going to hit. Tafa by knockout, very confident call, and I think he stays off his back. Maybe if he ends up getting put on his back and he can't do shit and he's looking horrible, maybe you have a live betting spot. I don't know, you're hedging Parker Porter. But I don't think so, man. I think Tafa pulls this shit off. I feel pretty good about it. Like, I was honestly close to calling him lock. I think that he's got a great chance to win, and I love the line. So give me Justin Tafa money line with a good amount of confidence, even though he's still a developing guy and pretty young in his MMA game. I think he chins his opponent here. Now, the next one, Rolando Bedoya, kind of back to Shittsville, USA lines, right? Not as pretty. Minus 310 is wide. I think Bedoya beats Song. I would advise you guys more so to go towards the money line. So then it puts it into a position where I see it as potentially more of a parlay piece as opposed to being a heavy money line attack at that minus 300 range. But I think Bedoya outstrikes Song. I was impressed with him, taking on Chaos Williams, sitting in there, striking with him and kind of outstriking him. He could have got the decision. Bedoya by knockout is the official pick at plus 200 because Song is coming off back-to-back knockout losses. He did drop Ian Gary, and he has gone distance before, though, in fights against quality strikers. So I don't think it's a lock to say Bedoya's knocking him out. He could also get a decision, which is plus 200, but I really like Bedoya's chances of outworking his opponent, Kenan Song, here. I think he will find the kill shot and get the KO, but it's not great at plus 200, still in the plus range and coming from minus 310. Looks pretty solid. So give me Bedoya as a most confident pick. I really think he's going to pull this thing off. I think probably a second round knockout. The volume will be there. The pace will be there. And he'll find the chin of the much older Kenan Song here. And it's a confident call on Bedoya. Those are the most confident favorite picks. And I do want to jump to my favorite underdogs on the card. And shit's going to get interesting with the favorite dog section. So we'll bring them both up. It's Alex Caceres and it's Anthony Lionheart Smith. I got two savage dogs, one of which, Anthony Smith, who has a win recently over Ryan Spann. That was his last win. He's on a 2-fight losing streak now. So I guess I'll just dig into, Anthony Smith a little bit first. I really think when a guy has a clean first round win and then Ryan Spann not looking that changed since, their first fight. I know he's got a knockout over Dominic Reyes, which really jumps out the page, but if you're being honest, he looks similar to what we saw with Anthony Smith when he got, finished by Krylov. When fights go longer, he tends to wilt a bit on the ground, and guys are live for subs. Anthony Smith by sub, plus 108, plus 110 range for Anthony Smith. Smith by submission, plus 375. I think it looks similar to the first fight. At the end of the day, you can say this about Anthony Smith. Good durability. And he's not an easy guy to hit. I know he's coming off just 6 weeks ago, a loss to Johnny Walker, and he got cleanly outstruck for 3 rounds. Ryan Spann is known to look for the knockout. Does he attempt to adopt kind of like a Johnny Walker outside kickboxing style? I don't know. It's just not his game. He's a finisher. He's looking for knockouts. I know you could say the same about Johnny Walker, but Walker, I just think, different style matchup, better with his grappling resistance, I believe, than Ryan Spann. I think that Anthony Smith is going to sub him again. I'm thinking it could be first round sub. So Smith to win by submission is something that I like betting wise, prop betting plus 375 by sub for Anthony Smith. Doesn't seem crazy. With an under 1.5 at minus 180, it's probably going under. It's a knockout artist versus a well-rounded guy who's known to be quite durable, who already has a first-round win. And there was beef after that last one. So I guess, it probably spills over again at weigh-ins. We got an intense matchup, but I think Smith 2-0s him. Give me Anthony Smith. Next matchup that I feel the dog is quite live, Alex Caceres over Giga Chikadze. Now, I'd be remiss if I wasn't going to tell you guys that Giga's got a legit chance to knock him out. If they're just striking, Alex Caceres is probably getting knocked out. But what if he brings in the grappling pressure like I'm anticipating and is competent enough on the feet to set these takedowns up? Where on Giga Chikadze on the ground? Alex Caceres with back position on Giga Chikadze. That's a nightmare for him. This is a real difficult stylistic matchup because I think Caceres' jiu-jitsu is very adept. He's a quality guy on the floor. He's well-rounded overall with a flowing southpaw kickboxing style. Yes, not nearly as powerful. Yes, he's been hurt in fights before. Does have good punch resistance notoriously, though. Only one knockout loss for Alex Caceres, regardless of him getting stung a bit. I think that he finds Giga Chikadze's back and strangles him. Plus 210 for Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres. And then we got Caceres to win the fight by a submission. My official prediction here, plus 600. He's live, and that sub prop is live. I think he can get the back of Giga and strangle him. I know Giga's terrifying with his stand-up, but he's been out for a while. Caceres flowing and doing his thing. And I think the overall MMA game is going to be a major factor. Give me Alex Caceres to strangle Giga Chikadze as one of my favorite dogs on this whole card. Those are the dogs. I want to jump to the lock of the week.
Waldo Cortez Acosta!
This week's lock, we're riding with the side of Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's been a lock for me before. I like Waldo Cortez Acosta's game. Now, I don't love the line. It's minus 224 for Waldo Cortez Acosta. Maybe a bit wider than I would have liked to see, but I think he's going to beat up Drezhki. I think that he can get his first KO. Plus 200, Waldo by KO. Just because he hasn't got it yet in the UFC doesn't mean he can't put it together here. He's still a relatively young heavyweight. Sure, you can say the same about Drezhki, but I'll tell you, the striking speed difference is clearly in the favor of Where's Waldo, and he has pro boxing experience. Just fought Rogerio de Lima. Lost the fight, sure, but I don't think it was a terrible loss. Had competitive moments against a much more experienced guy. Drezhki looked iffy against Carl Williams, who wrestled the fuck out of him in their fight. In the stand-up department, I think Waldo's going to be so much better with his boxing. He's going to find a ton of significant strikes to the head. And I feel like he's going to knock Drezhki out. Drezhki was knocked out outside of the UFC one time in like 30 seconds. He's not the fastest striker. He's a tough guy. He's tall. He's going to be in your face. He'll come forward with pressure and throw hard. But Waldo's going to be so much slicker than him. I think he can let it go and get a KO. So give me Where's Waldo as the lock of the week. I feel solid about him winning this fight. Plus 200 for knockout. Moneyline minus 224. Confident call in Waldo. Yeah, maybe not the best tag ever, but I think it's going to be happening here, man. I like Waldo potentially in a parlay too. We'll talk parlays at the end, and you'll see Waldo's name once again. Where's Waldo Cortez Acosta, the lock of the week? And I want to talk some props / value bets for this card. There's a couple things that I sniped out that I think that I like. I'll bring up Kinoshita. I'm predicting Kinoshita beats Billy Goff, and I feel pretty good about him winning. Aside from Kinoshita on his back, that's my biggest red flag, why he's not in the most confident pick section. KO for Kinoshita plus 185 just makes a lot of sense. The way Goff can bang and throw but get a little bit sloppy, I think Kinoshita can put his lights out. So plus 185, knockout prop that I like a lot here. And Kinoshita minus 126 money line. I do think he's winning the fight. I believe it. He's going to pull it off and get a W. Now, we're looking at Aaron Blanchfield, Talia Santos. Something I've been thinking here is Blanchfield by a decision at plus 150. Not my favorite tag, but I think Talia Santos' skill set might take her later. I don't like this one as much as the knockout, though, for Kinoshita, but had to mention it. And the JJ Aldrich fight, obviously I'm pretty confident Aldrich wins, but the line is damn hideous, and I'm not throwing the absolute out there on her. But I'll say this, she's known for decisions. Na Liang kind of known for getting finished as of late and brings fire. But if Aldrich does win, and the method she normally does is plus 190 for that Aldrich decision. Just to throw a few candidates for props out there, but the one that I like the most is the one that I brought up first, Kinoshita, to win the fight by knockout. I feel pretty damn swell about. I think there's a real good chance that it happens. Those are the props / value bets there. I think we dug in pretty well with the matchups. And I want to jump into the parlays, man. It's time to parlay some shit up. Let's get some excitement going up in here. All right, so I wrote this one down, but not considering odds, just bringing confidence. Minus 157 for Holloway and Waldo. And if you added some more steam with it and you said, dude, I want to bring the heat, give me Tafa. I don't know why Best Fight Odds has it as Justin Tafa. Plus 182, though. Tafa, Holloway, Acosta. Tell me that doesn't sound right. There's a nice ring to this one. I think it hits. Anthony Smith, underdog, plus 520. I'm liking this one a lot. We want to add some more steam to it. We take a little risk on the juice line, the uglier line, but we're still getting plus 747. Do I want to throw caution to the wind a little bit here and go with Kinoshita? But I'm thinking we could go the under here for plus 1100. But if we did throw Kinoshita straight, we got plus 1300 for that. You can get crazy with this right here. I'll clear the slate, and I got some more written down. I was going a little freestyle with it, but you guys know I have to bring a little freestyle action sometimes. All right, what if we went for value over everything? We go Anthony Smith and Tafa together for plus 279. I think there's a good shot for this one. Don't like the Anthony Smith line. Just Tafa and Waldo feels pretty good to me at plus 149. Now, if you're like, yo, I want to ride with Tafa, and I want to maybe just go with like Nakamura, Holloway, plus 123. Even if then you took the Tafa side out, maybe you don't want him on your slate and you put Waldo in, you get near even, minus 115 with 3 high confidence picks. I think that one's okay. I think there's some real possibility with this one. But plus 115 is not necessarily what you want to look at for, you know, a 3-fighter parlay. It's just because we got some fucking absolute crazy wide favorites on the call, man. All right, let's go risky. Let's go Bruce Leroy Smith, but I don't like this one as much. I recognize the serious knockout threat of Giga Chikadze on the side, and obviously Anthony Smith having a win over Ryan Spann really aids to my confidence. I'm going to go for a little alternate action, though. If we roll with Aaron Blanchfield for the win, and we also put Kinoshita on the line, plus 200. JJ Aldrich does it right, plus 260. Yeah, there's some different ways to play it. But when we get into the plus 1,000 range, we just feel degenerate like. I'll throw all the confident calls in. I'll take the lines like out of my mind for a minute, and then we'll just throw confidence up on the screen here. All right, plus 204. Where's Waldo? Plus 340. Anthony Smith, plus 867. Aaron Blanchfield off, my girl, plus 1584. Don't like Blanchfield off. We put in Kinoshita, plus 1584. Some different ways you can run it up, man. There's some real different ways you can run it up. So I'm trying to get into the high territory here. This would be a pretty A1 sweep, but it doesn't sound crazy to hit on all these. I don't think so, at least. Hey, regardless, be cautious with your bets, okay? Be intelligent. This is me just telling you what I'm thinking, not telling you go blindly tail. Do your own research. Dig in. See if there's some things that you agree with that I'm seeing and you're seeing. Make sure that we're on the same side. And let's cash. You got the over 2.5 in the Holloway Jung fight in Waldo, plus 103. I like that. Toffin at 2, plus 250 with Smith, plus 672. We're moving nicely with that one. There's some good looks on this card, man. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. That parlay section is always fun for me, man, because I think there's so many viable options. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel. If you're new, subscribe. Make sure you turn those post notifications on, too. Don't miss a video. Put them on all, not just personalized, so you actually get the notification for everything, because I got daily content, a ton of it. I appreciate you all watching. Smash the likes. Let me know your lock in the comments. Throw some of your favorite underdogs and most confident picks at me, and definitely let me know some props and parlays that you're feeling might have the juice. And now, if you have nothing to say in those comments, but you just enjoy the content, as always, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Much love, my people. Thank you for watching another episode of this week's Best MMA Bets. I'm bringing the heat from last week, and I'm carrying that momentum over to 5 a.m. UFC Singapore. Much love, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.